In a nutshell, this case is about, we talked about this with Dave Ehrenberg and others not long ago, but he knew the victim. So it's kind of interesting, Dan Markell. It was about a guy who lived in Florida who was married. His name was Dan. He was married to Wendy. They got a divorce. Wendy really wanted to move to a different part of Florida, South Florida. They were up in Tallahassee, and she wanted to move down south to like the Miami area. And Dan did not want her to go because they have 2 kids, and he wanted to be with his kids. And her parents were down there, including her mother, Donna. And Donna really wanted the grandkids by her. Next thing you know, Dan winds up dead. No bueno. Turns out there were 2 hit men who were hired to do the job. And it was a woman who hired them. That woman and the hit men have all been convicted. That woman's connection to the family was she had worked for, remember, Wendy is the one who's in the divorce with the decedent, the victim. Wendy's brother employed the woman who hired the hitmen. So the allegation is that Wendy's brother is guilty. By the way, he went to jail. The hitmen are guilty. They went to jail. And so is the woman who worked for the brother who found the hitmen. All in jail. However, the prosecution alleges like the kingpin or pins, queen pins behind the whole thing remain free. And they're starting with the grandma, which is of the 2 little boys, which is Wendy's mom, Donna. And Wendy could be going down soon too. We'll get to that. But first we're starting with Donna, who's on trial now in Florida, where Mark Eiglarsh is. And thanks to the Florida Sunshine Law, we get to see it all. I just want to show the audience a couple things. Donna Adelson is sitting there at defense table crying. She's doing a lot of crying. All right. Now, maybe there is crying in criminal defense, but this judge does not seem to want it, Eiglarsh. I'm just going to show a little bit of the crying in SOT 37.
Why did you take this photograph?
For the darkened area on his forearm.
Why was that of significance?
That is consistent with stippling.
What is stippling?
Stippling is being close contact to a firearm that was discharged, and it's going to be the unburnt gunpowder and gases that leave the barrel of a gun at a high velocity, and it will tattoo or stain the skin.
State's Exhibit 24, please.
Okay. Just to let the audience know, that we can wrap that. We showed Donna Adelson with her eyes closed, shaking her head, putting her hand up over her mouth, like, no. She's clearly either crying or fake crying. And they were describing the victim's injuries, which, according to the prosecution, she caused. So the crying seems a little off. And the Judge Everett, did not like it. SOT 38.
Mrs. Adelson, when the testimony is occurring or the evidence, I know you may have a natural reaction, but as best possible, you need to control your reactions concerning any head movements, any expressions of disagreement, or any emotional outbursts. The jury must decide this matter on the merits, on the evidence. Do you understand this? Very well. I do not wish to do this in front of the jurors at all, but it's very important that you are able to control your emotions. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Eiglarsh, he gave her the stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about line that my mom used to give me in the 1970s.
Yeah, well worth it. I mean, listen, the trials are not necessarily about the truth. Trials are about theater. And if you can have your client testify without testifying, what she's doing is she's saying, I feel so horrible. This is horrible what happened to my brother-in-law. Here's the problem. I would nudge her and say, stop
Son-in-law.
it. This is not the message that you want to convey. No one's buying it. We know the facts show that you didn't like him. You were talking crap about him. He then went to court and there was a pending motion where he was trying to keep the kids from her. So she didn't like him. Stop acting like you're sad that he's gone. You're thrilled. Now, whether you pay to have him off,
it's not
that's
selling.
a different issue. Right. Yeah. No, not a good act. And it doesn't make sense and it doesn't fit the evidence.
Crocodile. Here's one other thing. Robert Adelson is not the son. There's Robert, there's Wendy, and then there's the son. I'm forgetting his first name.
Yeah, the estranged son.
Then there's Charlie. Charlie's the one who's in jail for finding the woman who found the hitmen. But there's the estranged son, Robert, who parachutes into the case and gives testimony for the prosecution, talking about his discussion with his mother, the defendant Donna, who is not really all that interested in finding her son-in-law, Dan's, killer. Listen here, SOT 46.
Did Donna Adelson seem curious about who killed Dan Markel?
No.
Was there a complete lack of curiosity?
Yeah, nobody seemed curious.
Did you actually ever ask her, like after the murder, like, hey, like, what do you think happened? What do you?
Yeah, and the conversations were kind of rerouted, or that was certainly discouraged, and it was probably like maybe sometime like mid-August, when I finally had a chance to ask and say, what is going on? I mean, this was not a small event. This was getting a lot of notoriety, and I said, what do you guys think happened? And she had said, I don't know and I don't care. It doesn't concern me.
Oh, boy. All right.
Oh,
well,
but
Geragos,
those tears make sense then. Really? Come on.
She felt it deeply. Geragos, that was meaningful. Getting the other brother, that's a win for the prosecution.
Yeah, but I'm going to dial back for a second. I have been in a courtroom, I can't tell you how many times, countless times, where I have reacted myself, even though I counsel the client not to, where I'll either roll my eyes or I'll look like, oh, come on, something like that. I understand from a judge's standpoint, and I thought his admonition to her was completely appropriate because he said,
it was gentle.
Yes.
It was gentle. I assume that was not in front of the jury. I don't know.
Wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I'm not as hard-boiled as all of you are. If somebody may not have particularly liked what they were doing, but reacts to being confronted with it, I think there is an innocent explanation for that, and she could be emotional. And I don't
Mark
know why.
Eiglarsh, I think I speak for you when I say we object to being called hard-boiled. I think we are soft-boiled. We're soft-boiled, maybe occasionally scrambled.
I don't like any egg metaphors, especially from Geragos.
By the way,
I don't want to say over easy because that just.
Oh no!
tell you what,
I'm scrambled. I don't know about
there
you.
There we go.
What will the effect of the sparring between President Trump and the Federal Reserve be? Can the Fed take the right action at the right time, or are we going to be looking at a potential economic slowdown? And what does this mean for your savings? Consider diversifying with gold through Birch Gold Group. For decades, gold has been viewed as a safe haven in times of economic stagnation, global uncertainty, and high inflation. And Birch Gold makes it incredibly easy for you to diversify some of your savings into gold. If you have an IRA or an old 401k, you can convert that into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, or just buy some gold to keep in your safe. First, get educated. Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold. Just text MK to the number 989898. Again, text MK to 989898 and consider diversifying a portion of your savings into gold. So if the Fed cannot stay ahead of the curve for the country, at least you can stay ahead for yourself. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.